Welcome to today's lecture. We are going to discuss about the equipment that is used in the MBE system in today's lecture. So an elementary MBE system is depicted in figure 23 that we discussed in the previous lecture. It is in essence a UHV chamber where furnaces holding electronic grade silicon and dopant direct a flux of material to a heated substrate. In fact, an early MBE system was made by modifying a bell jar apparatus. Now commercially designed and built equipment, although expensive and complicated, has become available. So we will see in figure 28 that what are the components that is available inside the MBE system. A distinguishing feature of MBE is ability to use sophisticated analytical techniques in situation to monitor the process. So this is the figure number 28, which is showing that the practically how we see the process of MBE. In contrast to CVD process, MBE does not require the extensive safety precautions, although solid arsenic dopant must be handled carefully. So we have also studied a complete topic on safety consideration when we were discussing the CVD process. If you remember in lecture number 5, we discussed about the safety considerations. So in case of MBE, the safety considerations are not required or not that much needed. Only we need to take care of the arsenic dopants that as a you can say the consequence of the process generates. The vacuum byproduct, you can say the arsenic dopant is the byproduct. The vacuum system is the heart of the apparatus. The vacuum system is the heart of the apparatus. You can see the apparatus here. This is the viewport that we were talking about in the previous lecture. This is the rear view lead. This is sputter cleaning gun. This is a sample where it is, you know, the material is put inside this particular chamber, and this is the valve. This is the loading port, sample load lock. This is the pumping manifold. This is the valve, and from here the mass filter ion source and focusing is been given. This is the neutral beam trap. So repeated exposure to air is detrimental to a UHV system because of the long backs needed to dissolve atmospheric species from the system walls. A load lock system minimizes the problem. Consistent low base pressure is needed to ensure overall film protection and purity. These needs are best met with an oil-free pump design such as the cryogenic pump. Because of its high melting point, silicon is not volatilized by heating in the furnace but rather by electron beam heating. Okay, dopants are heated in a furnace. Constant flux is assured by the use of closed loop temperature controls, baffles and shutters shape and control the flux. So uniformity of doping and deposition can be attained without boundary layer effects being considered. We need not to remember this kind of diagrams. No? You only have to practice these diagrams. And in the previous diagram, if you cannot remember this, just remember this diagram. I'm just going in the previous pages. Just remember this diagram. Okay. Do not try to remember the complex diagrams. Substrates are the best heated when they are placed in proximity to resistance heater with closed loop temperature, and that temperature lies in between the range of 400 to 1100 degrees centigrade. A wide choice of temperature sensing method is available, including thermocouples, optical pyrometry, and infrared detection. Film characteristics. The preparation of high quality films by MBE requires an cleaning process to remove absorbed contaminants and exoid films. Low base pressure is also a requirement to keep the surface clean. Figure 29 shows the effect of pressure on stacking fault density, as here it is seen. Okay, so lowering the pressure lessens the concentration of contaminants absorbed on the substrate. These species would obstruct the single crystal growth and nucleate a fault as discussed in section 2.2.7 on nucleation that we will see. That is not of our interest currently. And this is the silicon on insulators, the last topic of the chapter. An all silicon device structure has inherent problems that are associated with parasitic elements arising from junction capacitance. These effects are more of a problem on devices which are made smaller. A way to control this problem is to fabricate devices in small islands of silicon on an insulating substrate as shown in figure 32. The initial approach to fabricating such a structure was to grow silicon epitaxy on a substrate of sapphire, that is the aluminum oxide, tetroxide, or spinel MgAl2O4 trioxide, aluminum trioxide. Uh, since the substrate material differs from a layer, the process is termed heteroepitaxy. A more recent approach yet to be perfected is silicon on amorphous substrates. Okay, so silicon on sapphire. The process and equipment used for silicon on sapphire epitaxy are essentially indicates to those employed for homoepitaxy growth. Homoepitaxy means both the silicon insulating surface and the original epitaxy have the similar nature. They made of the similar material, then that is known as the homoepitaxy. Silane is the favorite choice for silicon source according to the pyrolysis reaction. Okay, so this is the that reaction that silane is chosen. This is the silane's formula. Silane is chosen mainly for its low temperature depositing capability, which is used in SOS to control auto doping of aluminum from the substrate. Common process parameters are deposition temperatures between 1000 to 1050 degrees centigrade and growth rates of 0.5 micrometer per minute. Similarly, some are the silicon on amorphous substrate. Silicon on insulator SOI is a recent non-epitaxial approach to provide single crystal silicon. With this technology, amorphous or polycrystalline silicon is recrystalline on an amorphous substrate, and figure 34 shows that. We will see figure 34. The process is considered non-epitaxial as this silicon film is not single crystal as deposited. Energy for this process can also be supplied from electron beam or laser. The resultant structure is functionally similar to the heteroepitaxial SOS configuration, but without the attendant disadvantages just discussed. Okay, so silicon on insulator is another topic that we discussed. We are not going into the detail of this silicon on insulator technique. Just you need to remember the basic things of MVE process and what are the equipments that is used to grow the epitaxy in case of the MVE process. Okay, so this is all about today's lecture, and at this note we are also finishing our first chapter of your syllabus. Thank you for listening and watching.